Hello, guys, and welcome to our ACCA SBL series. And today's discussion is on a very interesting topic, which is Porter's value chain. Now, we studied Porter's five forces model in our earlier video, and today we are taking the discussion ahead. So, this is a model that is extremely useful, both, of course, for your exams and also in a lot of real business practices. We'll break it down step by step to understand how exactly is the model built, what are its constituents, and how will it help you in your SBL exams. So stay with me, and this is one framework that is super critical for your exams, so please pay attention. Now, what exactly is Porter's value chain? Michael Porter developed the concept of value chain to answer a very practical question. How do businesses create value for customers and how can they gain a competitive advantage? How can they have an edge over someone else so that they can deliver better as compared to the competitors? The idea is that every organization can be broken down into activities. Some activities directly deliver value to the customer, and others support and enhance those activities. So you could describe the first set of activities which directly create value as primary activities, and the others could be considered as support activities. Okay, these support activities do not directly add value, but they play a very critical role. For example, if you take Flipkart, the value to customers isn't just from selling the products online. It comes from the efficiency of warehouses. How efficiently do they record the incoming material? How do they segregate the material? How do they ship it at the right time? So inbound logistics, the speed of delivery, that is outbound logistics, building customer trust through marketing, sales, and good customer service, and a seamless return or a refund system, which of course is a part of the after sales service. So the value is not just the commodity that is delivered to you by placing an order online. The value comes from all of these aspects as well. Now, to understand how the idea behind Porter's value chain works, he has defined those activities as primary activities, which are the backbone of value creation and which are instrumental in delivering direct value to the customers. So he classified these into five major categories: inbound logistics, operations, outbound logistics, marketing and sales, and after sales service. Okay, so inbound logistics is what? It is receiving, storing, and handling inputs. Think of a company like Maruti Suzuki. It has an extremely efficient supplier network in India. I think at one point in time, Maruti used to put out these advertisements, in which there's a person driving a gypsy up the mountain, and even there, Maruti has an outlet and a service station. So this basically ensures uninterrupted servicing to customers, uninterrupted supply to customers for the cars that they have produced, and it also helps to manage storage cost. Operations is the act of transforming inputs into the final product or service. Think of the Tata Steel plant at Jamshedpur. Okay, so they use a very high level of automation, allowing high quality steel production at scale. So converting the raw material into the final finished product, which is steel. So using iron, iron ore, and all the other ingredients to finally produce steel. That is the operations part. Outbound logistics, delivering the product to the end customer. So collect, store, and distribute products to customers through warehousing, material handling, and distribution networks. I could think of Amul as a very good example here. It has one of the most extensive cold chain distribution systems in India, and its products reach millions of households fresh every day, which helps to build the brand strength, and customer trust is also multiplied in this process. Talking about the fourth primary activity which creates value is marketing and sales. I mean, today think of Zomato and Swiggy. They are not just food delivery platforms. They have some brilliant marketing campaigns. Sometimes these marketing campaigns tug your heartstrings, where they show how these delivery partners are going above and beyond, and that helps to create a humanitarian outlook for a company like Zomato, whose primary function is just delivery. In that sense, of course, it's a platform, but nobody knows what happens back end with the engineers. To them, the delivery boys are the face of the company in that sense. So how do these delivery partners go above and beyond to deliver your food and maintain freshness? So, all of this is basically a part of the bigger campaign of creating brand value. And of course, after sales services is the fifth one, which is basically maintaining and enhancing product value, basically repair and reinstallation and warranty services, all of them in a highly competitive market can become a differentiator for the customer. So customer dissatisfaction from can be converted into customer satisfaction only by providing amazing after sales service. Even if the product is not so great, providing great customer support can change the way businesses are looked at. And then after the primary activities, you have the support activities which enhance effectiveness. There are four items included here. The first one is procurement, which is basically acquisition of inputs. Now, see, procurement, do not confuse that with just buying the raw material. Procurement is recruitment of talent also, getting consultants in place for your work, sourcing technology, sourcing fixed assets and capital investment. All of that is a part of the procurement process. uh, and the companies, they will negotiate with suppliers leveraging scale to reduce the overall procurement cost. Technology development is research and development and digital platforms and process innovation. Today, companies are, relying heavily on chatbots and, all of these tools which provide constant service to the customer and keep that engagement high. And that if that is delivered at a high quality, that will bring the customers back to you again and again. I mean, a Zomato support for that matter, they are doing a very good job. All your banking support systems are doing a very good job. Then the human resource management bit, I think, is often overlooked. And in India, we often criticize them or make fun of them, saying that, all they do is make rangolis. While in India, that is the case, HR practically does very little work. But in an ideal world, the job of human resources team is recruitment, training, and rewarding. I mean, HCL Technologies, which is a tech company, is famous for its employer first philosophy, which empowers staff to innovate and deliver better client solutions. The human resources team will come together to make sure that the staff delivers in a better way without at any point in time compromising their comfort, but at the same time also enabling them to deliver the highest level of output. And the other infrastructure, which is finance, planning, IT systems, and governance, that is the infrastructure bit. So, formal systems of planning, quality control, information management, the internal processes, which or the infrastructure IT systems, which make sure that everything else functions in a seamless manner. That is the infrastructure function, which is like the oil which keeps your machinery running. How do you derive competitive advantage through value chains? Now, how does understanding the value chain help? It shows us where the competitive edge lies. I mean, a firm can perform activities at a lower cost, which would, establish them as cost leaders, or they would, or, after a thorough analysis, you realize that the company delivers services in a way which is unlike any of its competitors. So there comes in differentiation, or the customers really like on-time delivery, which is the outbound logistics part, or customers like, how refunds are processed. So that is again, you will get to know what is it that people value you for, and then you can build that part and other activities after careful consideration. Like Dabur, for example, keeps costs low with efficient procurement of raw materials. And someone like an ITC, it differentiates itself with premium branding in the FMCG segment. See, but no company works alone, okay? That is where the value network comes in. Flipkart, which is at one point of time, which was known for its on-time delivery, it relies on its logistic partners like eCart. Or Ola, it depends on its driver network. Pharma companies, they rely on hospitals and distributors. So you are not alone, okay? You have to work in tandem with all of them. You have to understand that you alone cannot do everything. It is a teamwork, and every participant in the supply chain has a role to play in building value. So that is how you should analyze the behavior of a customer. You should analyze the value chain and understand who you rely on, who relies on you, and how together you can deliver better value to the customer, and without losing your market share, and everyone then has to work in tandem to grow together. Now, when you're doing a value chain analysis, what are some of the key questions that you should ask? You should be looking at cost and price structures. What are the activities and cost price structures of the network? And can you make an effort to reduce overall cost of delivering the final product to the customer? Schemes like supply chain finance and all of that, all of those can come to your rescue. If somebody who is a larger player and a part of the supply chain can help to secure funding for someone who is a smaller player, thereby giving them the right platform and the right funding so that they can also scale their business, and the entire supply chain will benefit in the process. You could also think of items like profit pool analysis, where the different levels of profit or where are the different levels of profit along the supply chain. Organizations in low profit areas may move to higher profit segments with appropriate skills. I mean, what activities can be outsourced? What activities can be taken in-house in order to reduce the cost? You will also have to do a thorough make or buy analysis. Should you make something in-house or should it get outsourced? I mean, if I'm running a coaching institute and I'm not high on tech, then I should not spend my time, because my time can be better spent in a classroom teaching students and helping them with their doubts. The tech part can be outsourced or should be outsourced to someone else. And the correct partnership strategy, whom should I align myself with so that together we can achieve more? That is the whole idea behind the value chain analysis. You need to understand that, see, when multiple people come together, their goals will have to be aligned and they will have to work in collaboration. There will be interdependence between the participants, and it will, see, if that interdependence and that synergy is utilized in the right way, together you can grow more. Like Satyamed, who is a faculty, can collaborate with someone who is into video editing, and together you can deliver better value to better value to the students by creating high quality videos. And having a marketing head will also help us to understand who benefits the most, and how do we target the right set of students for our ACCA courses. Innovation promotion is also possible because networks enable improvement across the entire system and adaptation to environmental changes, promoting innovation and knowledge creation. So your emphasis in the entire process has to be promoting new ideas, promoting a culture which fosters understanding, which gives the right space for newer ideas to flourish so that together you can deliver more. And of course, governance structures. Value networks help identify entities that influence customer value delivery and governance structures that control network operations. If all the participants are aligned with the same ideas of corporate governance, if they believe in the same set of ethical principles and guidelines, then together they can create a sustainable value network which will create more value to the ultimate customer. Now, when we are talking about value chain, the idea of vertical integration and will play a critical role in understanding how value can be enhanced. What is vertical integration? It involves two parts. Okay, backward integration, moving into supply. What that means is what your supplier was providing you or what your supplier was doing for you, you start doing that particular activity. In the sense that I am a restaurant and I need vegetables and these ingredients for making food in the restaurant. I set up a farm so that I am only growing vegetables and my reliance on an external supplier is reduced. So moving into supply one stage before my product, moving into that stage is backward integration. I mean, Reliance owns all the oil refineries as well as petrochemical units, ensuring control over its material supply. Okay, so that is backward integration, moving into one step ahead. Sorry, one step before we come. And forward integration is moving closer to customers. Like Tata Motors, for example, created its own dealership and service network instead of relying on third party dealers. Now, you have to understand, say, for example, I am I'm a teacher. I'm doing my job of teaching. But what comes after I have recorded a lecture? That lecture has to move through a tech channel like an LMS. Now, what if I acquire another company which builds LMS and then I am moving closer to customers. I don't need that intermediary. I have acquired the intermediary and I can reach the customers quicker, and my reliance on an external party is reduced. Well, you will have to understand. that integration helps me acquire better control, it gives me stability, and it has a promise of higher profits also attached. Just saying that integration is good is not going to be enough. You need to know how exactly, how exactly do I benefit by moving backwards in the supply chain or moving forward, and how that adds to cost savings, synergy, and overall value to the ultimate customer. See, vertical integration enables businesses to gain profits from other parts of the value chain. Now, I'm making profits on the LMS business also, or I'm producing the fruits and vegetables and growing them on the farm. So I'm making profits by producing goods and services and selling those externally. It may be necessary to ensure stable supply of inputs. Dependence on external suppliers might create bigger challenges, late deliveries, failure to fulfill commitment. If that were to continue, then the business might suffer. So if you go back into the production stage and you start manufacturing the items which are your raw material, like you start growing fruits and vegetables on a farm which are then going to be used in the hotel, then you can, then all these challenges with respect to fulfilling the commitment, they will go away. And it enables quicker adaptation to changing business environments and customer demands. So it will help me to get closer to my customers. If I have done forward integration, I can understand what are the challenges they face at different nodes, and I can solve those challenges in a more efficient manner. The disadvantages, of course, might include the fact that you don't have enough funds to indulge in these activities, or you don't have the capability to operate effectively in these different networks. You don't have the skill sets, or managing multiple businesses could prove as a source of distraction, because you're putting your attention in multiple areas and losing track of your core competency. So of course these challenges are there, but appointing professional managers can help to take some burden off your head. Okay, so that's basically the idea of value chain analysis, a discussion that is super critical when it comes to your SBL exam. We'll be looking at questions from the past papers to understand how exactly has ACCA tested these concepts in your past papers, so that it can serve as a guidance point for the upcoming set of exams. Thank you.